Welcome! Now that we've cleared all those thieves out of our beloved monastery, the first order of business is, business. There are new things to buy, so let's check them out. The only new arrivals at the armory are 1 copy each of the 4 brave weapons. These are nice to have, but on Maddening, they tend to be a lot less useful than on lower difficulties. Their main power lies in hitting twice before the enemy can counterattack, but with arts like Swift Strikes or Point Blank Volley, you can get the same multi-hit effect with weapons that are both stronger and cheaper. For example, silver weapons have better stats across the board, so they deal more damage with these arts, and they perform better on enemy phase afterward. You also have chances to fish for crits with killer weapons, or to use effective weapons like the Horse Slayer on specific targets. The truly unique feature of brave weapons is that if you double the enemy, they hit 4 times. There are a few bosses with hefty hit point pools, and quadruple hits can chew through those HP bars faster than anything else. Because of that, I'll buy all of these eventually, but not right now. In the item shop, there are 3 additions. The first is a single silver shield. Everything I said about steel shields at the second shop applies here. For one thing, I already have 1 silver shield, plus the even tougher Aegis shield, on top of my leather, iron, and steel collection. In the next few chapters, I'll get even more free shields with better stats and effects. More importantly, there's a lot of competition for equipment slots now. I have rings and gems and staves to consider, and protection stacking is way less important now that I have reliable dodge tanking and multiple vantage setups. The 5 elixirs are just like the concoctions of yesteryear. I'll never buy them. I have a lot of healing capacity spread around my team, and if I do ever need to heal with items, I have a ton of vulneraries and concoctions that will do the job. The big new thing is this set of master seals. Including the 1 free seal you get upon qualifying for a master class, these give you the ability to promote up to 6 people during this chapter. For me, the most important promotions are for units who need to complete their master classes for the abilities, people like Raphael and Petra. You can never buy more than 5 master seals here. However, Anna's secret shop opens up during the next chapter, and she sells an unlimited number of them, so the item shop's limit doesn't matter that much in practice. Speaking of Anna's shop, I won't cover it separately, so I'll go ahead and mention her other wares here. In addition to the master seals, she has an unlimited inventory of silver shields and elixirs. She also offers 1 of each ring, a single hexlock shield, and a full set of stat boosters. If you've been stealing as much as I have, you probably have all the rings you need, but the boosters are always worth buying whenever you have money to spare. In the Battalion Guild, there are some familiar faces. We've already seen the 3 elite Church of Saros battalions because we earned each of them from paralogs back in White Clouds. The Holy Knights provide a nice gambit, and they have excellent concrete stats, offering 7 physical attack, 5 protection, and 7 resilience. However, because I've done all the paralogs, I have a lot of stuff that's just better. The Leicester Mercenaries and Goneril Valkyries have far superior offensive stats. If I need mixed bulk, I've got the Gloucester Knights and the Leicester Dicers Corps, which also provide bonuses to magical damage and hit rate. A second copy of my one and only Retribution Battalion is pretty cool, not least because the Index Sword Fighters have a great stat spread. However, it's not usually that helpful to have 2 separate sources of Retribution on a single map. Everyone benefits from the counterattack buff, but relatively few of my units will need it, and just 1 copy of this battalion can provide it to 6 people. Byleth will appreciate the second Macule Evil repelling company whenever he's adopting a purely magical role. As Lysithea has shown us, 7 magical attack with 30 bonus hit is a hell of a thing. Lawrence might benefit from that too, but I won't consciously try to train his authority rank up to A. His reason skill is much more important, and he has a number of strong B rank battalions to work with. The one really impressive thing about the Alliance Pavis company is its 8 protection. That's nice, but as I was saying with the Silver Shield, protection stacking isn't nearly as effective after the time skip. That's partly because of enemy stat inflation, but also because there are so many other tactics that are much more powerful. I am planning to do it on Sedith, but he'll combine high protection with several other great features, and he'll be flying anyway. Do you remember the Seros Sacred Monks from way back in Chapter 3? These Alliance Physicians are their B-rank counterpart. The stats are really bad, and to compensate, they get to use a much more awkward version of Fortify. Area healing might actually be less useful now than it was at the beginning of the game because it interferes with Vantage and Vengeance and Defiant abilities. This can't even be used at range in the way that Fortify can. The Alliance Sages are to the Physicians what the Seros Holy Monks are to the Sacred Monks. Without an online subscription, these guys are your very first source of blessing. This gambit gives up to 4 teammates a status effect that protects them from any one lethal blow, as long as they have more than 1 hit point left. Instead of dying, they'll survive with 1 HP. That's obviously a huge help to anyone who's setting up abilities that rely on having low HP. What you may not realize is that the blessing effect combines with guard adjutants. If you get doubled and each hit would kill you, blessing saves you from the first hit, and then the guard adjutant negates the second. That synergy enables some truly degenerate strategies. That's not all though. The Sages have great stats: 8 magical attack, 5 hit, 5 crit, 6 resilience. They're an excellent fit for Lawrence. He has reasonably accurate spells, he will soon have a mount, and he has terrible charm, so he doesn't use offensive gambits very well. The best features of the Alliance Master Archers are their 15 points of crit and 10 points of avoid. That's a fairly unusual spread that might be useful on ground-based dodge tanks who also have something like Battalion Wrap. But that particular crit and avo combination might be worse than Geralt's Mercenaries, who have the reverse: 15 avoid and 10 crit. Generally, a dodge tanking crit build cares about the dodging first and the crit second. Either way, you're losing out on the innate 10 avoid of master level flying classes, and every one of the Alliance's flying battalions provides at least 10 avoid as well. If you really want a ground-based dodge tanking build, you can do things with Brawl Avoid plus 20 without a huge opportunity cost, but you'll want A+ in flying anyway for Alert Stance Plus, so those skill requirements are a little awkward. The Alliance Guard is a tiny upgrade to the old C-rank Alliance Knights, and that's about it. Poison Tactic is a really nice gambit because it combines high hit rate with a huge area of effect, but the stats here, 5 physical attack, 10 crit, 5 avoid, and 4 protection, leave a lot to be desired. Without the DLC, the Golden Deer Wyvern Company is pretty important. The base game has 4 other high-end flying battalions: the Immortal Corps, the Galatea Pegasus Company, the Keyhole Wyvern Company, and the Alliance Wyvern Company. This represents your 5th and final upgrade from the D-rank Seros and Alliance Pegasus companies. However, with the addition of the Secret Transport Force and the Nouvelle Flyers Corps, suddenly this battalion drops from 5th place to 7th. Even if you're doing hardcore Wyvern spam, 7 Flyers is a bit much. You still want to deploy a Dancer, a Warper, maybe another Mage, someone with Retribution, and certain specialists like Snipers or Grapplers. The Golden Deer Archers grant 2 physical attack, 2 protection, and 3 resilience. In terms of concrete stats, those numbers make this the 2nd weakest A-rank battalion in the whole game. First place goes to the Blue Lion Dancers, but they can refresh 4 people at once, so they're incredible. These guys just offer 25 hit, 15 avoid, and poison tactic. That's way worse. Essentially, the Golden Deer Cavalry are the upgrade to the Alliance Pavis Company, trading away 1 point of protection for 1 point of resilience, 4 points of attack power, and a much better gambit. Like the Seros Holy Knights, this is one of those battalions that is straightforwardly good, but gets edged out by a bunch of paralog rewards. And in this case, they all have lower authority requirements to boot. If you recall what we found in the 2nd tier Battalion Guild, the story here is much the same. There's one battalion that's a must-buy because of its amazing support gambit, and there are a handful of other solid ones, but a lot of the options on this menu are subpar at best. I'm still going to buy them all, because have you seen how much money I have?
Ready for... We will see... Let's... Leap... Yup. Well... You can...
After this shopping spree, there's a 3-pack of battle quests to do this month. I'll set some exams first, then head out to whip my army into shape. See you there.